Uh, good
Good afternoon,
Guys,
sir. Good afternoon.
guys, today we are going to discuss a few important concepts, and today's session number 3 of our ASP.NET Core Identity. Let me first explain you what we are going to discuss in today's session. Then we will discuss how to implement the same in our application. So let me first run the application. So basically, right, you can see whenever you go to any web application, right? For example, any e-commerce application. So in the e-commerce application, some of the page you can access without login. Some of the page, right, for which login is required. For example, adding items to the cart. If you are adding items to the cart, viewing the products in the website, for that case, right, in that case, you need not to be logged into that application. But when you want to go to the checkout page, then in that case you need to be login. And if you go to the checkout page without login, then what will happen generally? Generally, it will navigate or it will redirect you to the login page. And after login, automatically it will redirect you back to the checkout page. For example, in this case, let's assume currently we are not logged in. And here we are having two pages. One is secure and one is a non-secure page. So once I click on this non-secure page, without login, I can access this page. But this secure page, it required authentication. You need to be logged in user. You should have a right proper, what I can say, you need to be logged in. Without login, you cannot access that page. For example, now, if I click on this one, then you can see it is redirecting me to the login page. And after providing a proper or valid password, username and password, or you can say once you logged in, then ideally it should redirect me to the profile details page or it should redirect me to the secure page. What is the ideal scenario in this case? What is a good user experience?
A landing page, sir, should be any.
Landing page. See, if you are going right, if you are adding some item to the product page, you have added some item and you go to the cart page and you decide, yeah, these are my final item. Now I want to proceed for the checkout. So when you click on the checkout button, if you have not logged in, then it will redirect you back to the login page. And after login, it should redirect you to the checkout page or it should redirect to the home page.
Checkout.
Checkout page.
Checkout page.
Checkout page.
That is the good user experience. Why? Because for that page, the login is required. After login, I should automatically redirect to that page, and that is going to give you a good user experience. So in this case, I'm trying to access the secure page, but for this page, authentication is required, and that is the reason why it automatically redirect me back to this login page. And after login page, if I provide the right whatever the email and password if they are valid, then once I sign in, then it should automatically redirect me back to this secure page, not to the home page. Yes, if I'm coming to the this login page directly, providing the username and password, then it makes sense to go back. Right, it makes sense to redirect to the profile page. But in this case, we are landing to this login page. When we click on the secure page, I mean secure link. So once logged in, then it should redirect me back to the secure page. Let's see. So it is redirecting me to the secure page or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's log out. And now I'm coming to this login page. So from this page, if I provide, then it should redirect me to which page? It should redirect me to the profile page because we are landing to this page by directly clicking on the login button, not from any other link. Now you can see it is redirecting me back to the profile page. So how to implement this thing? That is what we are going to discuss in today's session. Second thing, what we are going to discuss right now. Now, whenever I'm going to register, right? For example, one user we have already provided, that is Pranay Kumar 7. Now, in this case, what happening? Now, as this username Pranay Kumar 7 is already taken by someone else, when I came to know this thing, right? When I came to know that this user is already taken by someone else. Now, when we click on the registered button, when the form is submitted to the server is going to verify whether this email ID is already taken by someone else or not. Right? For example, now when I click on this page, right, then you can see it is showing me this error message. What is the ideal scenario? The ideal scenario is as soon as I enter the email ID, instead of posting full page post, right? Instead of posting the complete form to the server, asynchronously, the client should make a Ajax request to the server to check whether this email ID is already taken or it is available. If it is already taken, it should display this message. If it is available, then that's fine. We should go with the complete process. But now what is happening? A complete page postback is going to the server, right? So how we can handle this scenario? So for this purpose, right, I'm going to show you this thing, right? Let me show you how we are going to implement this thing. So let me first show you this thing. Okay, so go to this one. Now, this email ID is already taken. So as soon as I go to the next, what I can say, phone number field, or if I move back from this input control, it is immediately showing me this is already in use. So this is going to give you good user experience. Or when you submit the register button, then the server is going to do the validation and return the error message that this is already ready taken by someone, which is going to give you better user experience,
This one.
The first one.
right? So this is the concept. See, first of all, what concept we discussed, that is login page and then back to secure, that is return to redirect. And this is nothing but what concept is this? A remote validation. Clear? These 2 points is clear. These two key feature is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the third thing is
Yes.
what we are going to discuss. What is the default custom default password policy provided by ASP.NET Core Identity, and how we can customize this password policy? For example, now I'm using this password. So now I'm using password 1 2. Okay, let me give 1 2 3 4. I'm providing the password 1 2 3 4. So now click on this registered button. So once I click on the registered button, it is showing, please fix the below error and try again. What error? Now password must be at least 8 characters. Okay, so actually this message is coming because of the custom I have set the custom password policy. So basically what I'm going to discuss is what is the default password policy. That what I'm going to explain you first. Then I'm going to I'm going to explain you how you can customize your password policy as per your business requirement. For example, by default, according to the default password policy, the minimum character is 6. But as per my business requirement, the minimum character is going to be 8 characters, right? So do you want to allow how many unique character, how many uppercase character? Do you want to allow uppercase character, lowercase character, alphanumeric character? So how you can set all these things within the password? So that is what I'm going to discuss. Also, I'm going to discuss what is the default password policy, how it is being set, and how you can customize the default password policy as per your business requirement. Clear? So these are the three things that is what I'm going to discuss in today's session. Is that clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us proceed and understand all this thing one by one. So I'm going to discuss this thing right one by one. So this is my application. Now we are going to implement this project. Okay. So let us proceed and discuss the custom password policy. First of all, you have to remember the password policy is meant to why? Why we need a complex password? Because if you are going with the easy to use password, that can be easily guessable and crackable, right? And if you want to provide or if you want to avoid the what I can say brute force attack. Brute force attack means uh, the attack which is going to trying to crack your password by combining multiple combination of multiple combination character alphanumeric, right? By taking those combination, it is going to trying to crack the password. So that is nothing but your brute force attack. And by default in ASP.NET Core Identity, this is the default password policy. So if you go to the password options class, If you go to the password options class, then you will see this is the class provided by ASP.NET Core Identity. And this password class provide the options, right? How you are going to manage the password. For example, what is the minimum number of characters required? So what is the default value? 6. So how many unique characters are required? 1. What does this require any alphanumeric character? Yes, alphanumeric character means what I can say, special characters. So does it require some lowercase character? Yes. Does it require some uppercase character? Yes. Does it require some digit? Yes. So by default, you can see it required a digit. It required a upper and lowercase character. It required some what I can say, special character like at the rate, underscore. It required a unique character. Yes. It required what is the minimum required length is 6. So this is the default password policy options provided by to us, right? And if you want to see this default password options, let me show you again, right? What I'm going to do is I have provided some validation on the registered view model. Let me comment this one. So what is the validation we provided? Minimum 6 character. Now I can remove this one. I mean, I have to comment this one to see what is the default password policy. Let me run the application. Okay. Go to this registered button. Provide this name. So I'm providing the password as a 1234, 1234, and here also I'm providing 1234. See, so it is saying password must be at least 6 character. Password must have at least one alphanumeric character. So non-alphanumeric character. So non-alphanumeric character means, guys, special symbol. It is not 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. It should not be any capital A to Z, small a to Z. Password must have one lowercase. Password must have one uppercase. As I have provided only digit 1 2 3 4 5 6, you can see that a digit is not showing here. For example, I provided ABCD. I provided ABCD, small ABCD. So in that case, it is showing that digit is not provided and uppercase character is not provided. So this is the default password policy. Clear?
Yeah, that password
Yes.
validation will be done by in internally through ASP.NET Core Identity.
Yes. So identity is managing everything now. So
Oh,
what
yeah.
we are using ASP.NET Core Identity.
Mm.
So everything is going to use, right? How to store the password in hash format, what
Mm.
hashing algorithm it internally use,
Mm.
where to store the email field, how to
Yeah.
maintain the uniqueness on the email field, how to
Mm.
set whether email is verified or not. Everything is going to be managed by the
Mm.
identity framework. So this is the policy what it internally use. For example, I have shown you this thing, right? In this
Mm.
case, if you go to the right password policy class, then these are the default settings they have provided. Now,
Provided.
what is our is that clear?
Yes. Yes.
Now, what is our requirement? Our requirement is we need to customize. So currently minimum length is 6. I want to make this as 8. Now required unique characters is 1. I want to set this as 4. 4 unique character must be there in the password. It should not be like a at the rate 1111. It should not be like that. So it should contain some four, at least 4 unique character. Do you want to require alpha, non-alpha numeric character? I mean special symbol. Yes, and everything. And if you want to include lowercase, you can set true. If you don't want to include lowercase, then you can set this to false. So that what we need to optimize, or you can say customize. So why we are going to and how to customize this thing? So basically, right, how to customize means wherever we register the identity services, at that time only, at that place only, we need to customize the settings. So let's see how we can do this customization. So go to the program class file. This is my program class file. So inside this program class file, we need to customize. So let me comment this thing. I'm very poor at syntax. So let us try to understand this thing, right? So here you can see this is my application and application user application role. Fine. So using the options, right? Using this options object, I can do many settings. So let us go with the step by step. Let us start with the password option settings. And as we progress, we are going to do some other kind of settings as well. Like other settings means what? Now, what is the maximum failed attempt required? So many things are there which we are going to discuss one by one. So now you can see this password options dot password is nothing but your password options. And in the password options, we have already discussed, right? If you see whatever the properties are there, these properties are having both a get and a set accessor. It is not only the get or set, both accessors are there. So both accessors are there means what? Now they are providing the set accessor. Why? Now because if you want, you can also customize these settings. And that is what we are going to do here. So now required digit, yes, true. What is the required length? 8, minimum 8 character. Required alphanumeric, yes. Required uppercase, lowercase, yes. And required unique characters is going to be 4. Clear? This changes is clear? Clear or
Yes, sir.
not?
Yes, sir.
So this is the changes that what we need to do. And with these changes now run the application. And this time you should see this custom error message, right? Whatever we set. Now let me go to this one. It is very again and again we need to provide this thing. 1 2 3 4 I have provided. 1 2 3 4 I have provided. See, password must be 8 character, and that is what I have shown. Now, if we provide a valid means okay, what is our database? Identity core DB. What is that database in this case? Let me go to the app settings.json file. So database is identity database. So in the identity database, how many users are there? Only one user. What is the email ID? Email ID is Pranay Kumar 7. So let me give a valid email ID and a valid what I can say Pranay Kumar 777, and let me give you a complete password. So capital TEST @1234. So this is the password what I am providing. TEST @1234. And now click on this registered button. So once you click on this registered button, then it should work as expected. Right? Thank you for registering. And you should get that email. Let me go ahead and confirm the email so that it should be created as a valid user. So email confirmation and confirm this one. Yes, email confirmed successfully. Now you should see 2 users are there. Clear? Email is also confirmed. But you can see, even though for both the user I'm providing the same password, but that hash is same or different. I'm providing the text @1234 for the first user and also for the second user. But in both cases, the password hash is going to be different because internally they are having some logic, and that logic they have implemented using SHA-50, right, 512 algorithm, HMAC 512 algorithm. And based on the provided user data, they are creating some kind of a secret key, and using that secret key, they are, right, what I can say, generating this password hash. So this password hash can only be generated. It cannot be decrypted, right? Every time you can only generate the password hash based on the user data, but you cannot decrypt this one. That is what you need to remember. So now that password complexity is fine. So how to set the, what I can say, uh, how to customize the password. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Now, second thing what I need to do is I want to show you this email functionality. For example, now we have two email Pranay Kumar 7, and this time let me give you a read this one. So I'm trying to make you, I'm trying to create a new user with the same email ID. At this time, once I click on this button, then only I'm getting this error message. Now, what is my requirement? I want to implement the remote validation to provide a best user experience to improve the application performance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to provide or I'm going to implement some kind of a remote validations. Remote validation means what? Now, once I enter the email ID and once I move my pointer, I move my focus from this text box to outside of this text box, then it should asynchronously should make a AJAX request to the data server, and the server should validate whether this email ID is already taken or not. If it is already taken, it should return some string. String means if it is returning some string means what? That validation is not successful. And if it return true, true means validation is successful. So here that remote validation, we are going to do two things. Guys, remember whenever you are implementing remote validation, that AJAX request where we are going to send the request that the method should return true in case of a success validation. False, that you should not return false. Instead of a false, you should return some string data, and that data it is going to display here. Clear? So let us proceed and see how we can implement this remote validation in our application. So first of all, to implement remote validation, your client-side validation should must be enabled. And in that case, you can see I'm having this script section, and from our registered view, we are calling this validate partial, and this validate partial contains my unobtrusive JavaScript code, and the jQuery code we are provided inside this layout file. That means this jQuery.min.js file plus these three things is required for enabling the client validation, and that is what we have done already. So once this is done, next what I need to do to implement client validation, what I need to do, I need to create a controller action method. I need to create a controller, and that controller must have one action method, and that action method is going to be invoked from the client side using jQuery Ajax, and that calling jQuery using jQuery Ajax call that action method is going to be done automatically. We are not going to write any JavaScript or jQuery code within this method to check the validation. That needs to be done automatically. How it is going to be done automatically? Let us proceed and understand step by step. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to create one controller. So let me go ahead and create the controller. So let me go ahead and create one controller. That controller name is going to be remote validation controller. So within this controllers folder, let me go ahead. Remote validation controller, any name you can give. As it is mainly used for remote validation, I'm giving this controller name as remote validation. And here you can see I'm injecting my user manager class, because using this user manager class, I can only verify whether the email ID is exist or not. And here you can see this is my is email available action method. Whatever the property name I'm taking here, that should and that must be similar to the property what we defined within our registered model. So that property in the registered model, if you see what is the property name, that property name is email, and here also the property name is email. The second thing what I need to do is first of all create one controller, define one action method, ensure this action method is allow anonymous, and it should be it can have both HTTP get and HTTP post attribute. See, only get is fine, but as a good programming practice, please put this both of these things, right? It can be accessible using get request as well as a post request, right? So next what I need to do, I need to check whatever the email ID I received, whether this is exist in the database or not. How you can do this? By using this user manager service. You can check by calling this find by email async method. And if this email method is available, that application user data it will return. If this email is not available, then what exactly it is going to return? Guys, tell me what exactly it is going to return. It is going to return null, right? So that is what you need to check. So once this is done, right? Once the if user available based on this email ID, if any user available, then what? That means that email ID is already taken by someone else. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If this
Yes,
email
sir.
ID is already existing in the database, it will return the data. And in that case, we need to return this error message, or whatever error message you want to return. This email ID is already in use. If this email is not exist in the database, it will return null. In case of null, we need to return true. So you have to remember, if the validation successful, or if you want to ensure that the data is valid, return true. If not, return a string. So whatever the string I return here, this string is going to be displayed in the input element. So this is the changes that what we need to do. So once this is done, automatically is nothing going to be happen. So automatically is nothing is going to be happen. So what I need to do, I need to go to the registered view model, and in the registered view model, on the right email property, we have to decorate this property with one attribute, and that attribute is going to be a remote attribute. So to this attribute, what I need to do, I need to specify two things. What are the things I need to specify? What is the action? Action method is going to be what? And the second one is going to be the controller. What is the controller? So what is the controller? So in this case, what is the action method name? Action method name is email available. So that what we need to specify here. And what is the controller name? The controller name is remote validation. So that is what we need to specify here. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So first of all, you need to create the controller. Yes, we created the controller. Second, you have to apply the remote attribute on the email property on which you want to apply the remote validation. And here you need to specify the controller and action method name. And the third and the most important thing, your view should have, right? I mean, for the registration view, you should have the client-side validation enabled. So with these three changes, now run the application and see whether that remote validation is working as expected or not. Now, in this case, full page postback will not be happen. Only, right? And this time you can see whenever I'm entering the email address, you can see it is taking, right? It is making one AJAX request to the server, and immediately it is showing me that this email ID is already in use. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So this is how that remote validation is being right, used in your real-time application. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now the last thing what we are going to discuss in today's session is return to redirect URL. So basically, basically what I need to do, I have to go to the home controller. Okay, go to the home controller, and now in the home controller, I want to apply, right? I want to create two more action methods. Right, two more action method means what I can say. So basically, let us first modify this home controller class. So in the home controller class, this index view and privacy view already there. So now I have created two more action method. One is non-secured and another one is secured. And if you see, this non-secured action method is decorated with allow anonymous, and secured method is decorated with the authorized attribute. What exactly it means? It means anyone can access this action method, but in order to access this action method, the user must be a authorized user. Authorized means he should be logged in. Until and unless the user is not logged in, he cannot access this action method. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right. So let us first create the view content. So let me go ahead and add these two views. So this is going to my non-secured view. Non-secured view means anyone can access authentication, authorization not required. Next, what I need to do, I need to create my secured view. And this secured view means the user must be logged in. Until and unless the user is not logged in, he cannot access this view. So these are the two view that what we have created. Next, what I need to do is I need to provide access, right? I need to give two links for this two view. Where I need to give the link in the layout page. In the layout page, go to this place. So currently you can see we are having these two, what I can say. So now what I need to do, I need to provide the, again, right link for these two, secured. And then it is going to be this one. So what is the link text we have to provide it? Secured and non-secured. Okay. So this is going to be secured and this is going to be non-secured. So these are the two pages. Okay. So these changes we have done now. Now with these changes, now let us try to run the application and see whether it is working as expected or not. So in this case, when I access this non-secured page, it is working as expected. But when I click on the secured page, you can see it is redirecting me to the login page. But the question is, how it is happening? We have not written anything. We have not done any changes anywhere, but automatically it is redirecting me to the login page. How it is possible? Now, guys, remember the default, the default mechanism which is provided by ASP.NET Core is if any action method required authentication, and if you are trying to access that action method without providing the what I can say as a non-authenticated user, automatically the ASP.NET Core framework will redirect it to the account/login action method. By default, it will redirect it to the account/login action method if that is available. So by default, it will automatically now it might, and in this case, you can see in my account controller, we are having this login action method, and it is the reason why it is working. But in case if you do not have that login action method, if you have the login action method in a different controller, if you want to redirect it to a different method instead of a login action method, and how you can do this thing. By default, the default functionalities automatically he will redirect it to the login action method. But if you want to redirect it to a different page, or if you want to set the login account/login action method, but you want to set this thing right manually, right, for better clarity, then what you need to do is you need to use this configure application cookie services. So basically go to the program class, and within the program class configure this service, configure application cookie, and using this configure application cookie, you can set what is the login path. Login path means this is the path to which the user will be redirected if the user is unauthenticated and if the user trying to access a protected resource. Getting my point? So see, if you do not set this thing, then default is also account/login. If you want, you can set this to default/login. For example, I want to redirect it to the home/index page. Currently, I'm right. If the user is not authenticated, I can redirect it to the home/index page. Let's see whether this is working or whether it is redirecting to the home/index page or not. Right? Currently, I'm in the non-secured method. Now, when I click on the secured page, it is redirecting to me home/index page or not?
Yes.
Yes or no? So basically, whatever the login path we set here, it is redirecting me to that page. So now, right, let us go with this default option, right? What is that? Not the default option. We can see similar to this login path. You can also set the access denied path. So other things we are going to discuss, right? Step by step. If the user is logged in, but he doesn't have permissions to access that page. So basically, when it comes to role-based authentication, so at that page, we are not going to redirect to the login page because already is logged in. So we need to redirect it to the access denied path, that you don't have permissions to access this page. So how you can implement? So we need to set that access denied path. For example, you can say options dot access denied path. So we'll discuss. So once time will come, we'll also discuss that one. So but how to set the default login path and access denied path using this configure application cookie services. Clear?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now when it is redirecting to this action page, here you need to remember, right, that one query string parameter is added by the framework automatically. What is that parameter name?
Return URL.
Return URL. What is that value? Home slash. See, that slash is nothing but this one, a percentile. 2f is going to be your slash symbol. So home/secured action method. Is this the page that what you are trying to access initially? And as you do not have, as you have not logged in, he is redirecting to this page. So basically, this return URL core string parameter is automatically going to be provided by the framework, and this return URL going to hold the value. It is going to hold the original URL value. So whichever you are trying to access originally, that URL value is going to be held by this return URL. Sir, can I use a different parameter for this case? In this case, no. You cannot use a different parameter. This return URL is fixed. That is going to be provided by the framework automatically. You do not need to do anything special. Automatically, that parameter is going to be appended as part of the core string parameter. So what I need to do? First of all, I need to use a, right, in my login action method to hold this parameter. What I need to do? I need to create a variable of string type. What is that variable name? Return URL. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now what is the actual URL that is going to be hold? But in this case, it can be null. Why it can be? How it is going to be null? How it is going to be null? Now, if you are coming to this page, right? If you are coming to this page directly, in that case, it is null. Return URL value will only be provided whenever you are accessing any protected page and you do not have, right, what I can say, you do not have logged in at that time. So in that case, it will redirect to the login page and the return URL value will be there. Clear? So let us proceed and see how we can do this thing. So now next, what is the second step we need to do? We need to store this return URL in a view data. You can use view data, view bag, right? Whatever the functionality you want to implement, wherever you want to store, you can store. So this is a parameter. And as we have already discussed, view data and view bag are the temporary mechanism, or you can say data transfer mechanism to pass small amount of information from the controller action method to the view. So once we pass this information to the view, then what we need to do? In the hidden field, we need to store this data. Within the view, within the hidden field, we need to store this data. So now go to the what I can say login view, and within the page, right, where the form is created, this is my form. So within this form, what I need to do? I need to create one hidden field, and in that hidden field, I need to store this return URL value. So now you can see I have created one input type hidden. Yes. What is the name of this parameter? The parameter name is return URL. What is the value? The value whatever I'm storing in the view data. If this value is there, that value will be there. If no value is there, then null will be there. So in that case, that return URL, right, parameter, or you can say I have added this value into a hidden field, and that name is going to be return URL. So what is the benefit and what will happen now? Now when we put this form, along with this input element, whatever the email password, remember you selected or provided, whatever the email ID password you provided, along with this data, this return URL value is also going to be submitted to the server. Yes or no? It is also going to
Yes,
be
sir.
submitted
Yes.
or not?
Yes.
So once it is submitted, right, then in that case, what I need to do, I need to, right here, you can see whatever the parameter name that is going to be return URL. And to this return URL, first of all, right, it is going to check whether the application user is logged in. So we have already written this code within the, what I can say, the post action method. So here what I need to do, just write on this, right? So already we have written this code. So first of all, this login action method, it will hold the login data and this return URL. If you don't want this return URL here, then what is the other option? Other option, go ahead and create a public variable here. What is that public variable here? You can give that public variable name is return URL, and it is going to be a nullable type property. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes.
Right? So with this one, now I can remove this parameter. And now I can make use of this one, model dot return URL, model dot return URL, and model dot return URL. Clear? So now can I do one more thing? So instead of using this view data, so can I write something like this? And can I pass this model to the corresponding view and remove this one? Absolutely yes. Yes or no? Yes or no? So now go to the view. So now instead of getting the data from the view data, what I need to do? The value is going to come from the @model dot clear.
You are.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So this is the changes that what we need to do now. Within the account controller, so once you receive the model, so we need to check whether the model, I mean the email ID, whatever the login method we have created, whether that provided credential are valid or not. If the provided credential are valid, then this succeeded is going to return true. In that case, what we need to do, we need to check whether this return URL having some value and is this a local URL. And guys, remember checking whether this is a local URL or not is very, very important. Why? Now, if this is not a local URL, then you can get that open redirect right, what I can say issue. Open redirect means what? It can redirect it to a different application altogether if this is not a return URL. So basically within the application, if the URL what you provided, if that is a local URL, then only it will redirect it to that URL. Otherwise, it will redirect it to the profile account page. Clear? Clear or not? So why it is
Yes.
important to use each local URL? I will also show you practically. But for now, if the local URL is provided, return URL is provided, and if it is a local URL, then we will redirect it to that particular URL. Otherwise, we will be redirected to the profile page. And if there is some issue, then if it is not allowed, I mean email is not confirmed, if the provided credential are invalid, so that error message we are going to return. So with these changes, let me run the application and see whether it is working as expected or. So now go to this non-secured page. Yes, working. Go to this secured page and now try to provide a valid username and password and click on the sign in button. See, it is redirecting or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, why that local URL is important?
Yes.
Let us try to observe. For example, I just log out this one. And this is my non-secured page and this is my secured page. So in this case, can I access that hidden input field value? Right. So now, so in this case, you can see, so this is my hidden field. What is the value? The value is this one. I just put this one. So now that value is a local URL or a different URL?
It's a
Tell
different
me.
one, right?
Now, so in this case, if we have not used that each local URL, then what will happen? In that case, it will redirect to that different URL what we provided. But as we are using each local URL, and in this case, it is not finding that this is not a local URL. So in that case, it will redirect to which page? Guys, in that case, it will redirect to which page? Account
The
profile.
absolute URL, right? .NET tutorials.
So how? So is .NET tutorial is a local URL? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
And what operator we are using here? And so in that
And
case, if both are true, then only it will
oh,
redirect.
okay, both are true. Yes,
In this
yes.
case, it is going to return false. False means it will not redirect, and that it will redirect to the profile account page. And let's see. So it is redirecting to that profile page or not? Right? And if you remove this thing, then what will happen? Now, in that case, it will redirect it to the external URL also. So that issue is called as, right, open redirect attack, right? If someone asks you what do you mean by open redirect attack, you have to tell this thing, right? If our application aligned to redirect from its own domain to a different domain, that that is called as open redirect attack. So you can restrict that to open redirect attack. Now within the application, we need to ensure whether the redirect URL is a local URL or not. So you can ensure it is going to be a local URL or not. If it is starting with this hash or this symbol, then it is going to be a local URL. Clear? If it is containing a full domain, then it is not a local URL. So you have to ensure this thing. Clear, guys?
So how it is checking, Pranav, whether it is that external URL is containing a www dot or HTTPS. So in
See,
that way it is checking.
in that case, right, you have to remember, in that case, it is not going to contain the domain name. See, if it is containing the domain name or full domain, that is means it is a external URL. I mean, it is only going to check whether this is only containing this slash and whatever
Oh.
the path. If it contains the domain name or full domain information, so it will consider this is not a local URL. Clear? So in this case, www.nettutorials.com/. So the domain name is there in the URL or not?
Yes, yes.
So if domain name found means it is not a local URL. No domain name. So in that case, only /home/secret means this is going to be local URL. Clear?
Yes, yes.
So anyone having any question, guys? This is all about today's session. Next, mostly I'm going to take on right Monday because I'm going to my native place tomorrow because of Raksha Bandhan. And after coming, we'll start roles management, right? How you can create role, manage role, how you can assign roles to user, multiple roles to multiple user, right? That complete roles management. Then I'm going to discuss role-based authentication. Then I'm going to discuss how to enable, disable menus, right, based on the user role. Then we are going to discuss, right, claim-based authentication. So all these things we are going to discuss step by step. So next, what we are going to discuss is roles management with ASP.NET Core identity. Anyone having any question related to today's session, they can ask me.
Sir, one question, sir. How you are capturing the return URL? In hidden field you are setting. Okay.
Sorry?
No, sir. I was doubt that how you are capturing the return URL. I
So
forget
we are
that.
capturing
Through
that
the
is
model.
automatically that is going to be set by the framework. And to capture the return URL, you should and you must have a parameter. What is that parameter name? The parameter name must be return URL.
Login
And
model.
that is what we have defined within the login action method. Clear? Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
This is the URL. And this URL name you cannot change. It must be return URL. You cannot set any custom name for this one. That is not possible. Clear?
Variable. Okay.
Yes. Anyone having any question, guys? So let me remove this thing, unnecessary things. Yes. I'll update this document and I'll share the complete documentations. Anyone having any question? So three things we discussed in today's session: custom password policy, remote validation, return redirect to URL, return redirect. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I
Anyone
wanted to ask one question.
Yes, please.
In one of your CSHTML, you have written validate next to the method post, and that after
Yes.
that you have written
That
validate.
validate means, say that validate means, do you want to enable that HTML5 validation or not? Within the HTML form, I have written,
Okay.
right? For example, if you see this one, so this no validate. No, I'm not going to use HTML5
Yeah,
validation.
no validate. Yeah.
I want to use validate, you can use this validate. That HTML5 validation will come into the picture. So this is HTML related concept.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else having any question, guys? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.